All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Akeem, and welcome to today's vlogs. Back in action, giving you more scout reports on players headed towards the 2017 NFL Draft. Finally, going to head things over on the defensive side, and I'm going to start off with my defensive ends for today. I'm going to talk about the #1 overall prospect entering this year's draft, Myles Garrett of Texas A&M. This kid is actually from Arlington, Texas, a big Dallas Cowboys fan, decided to stay in state to go to College Station to play for the Aggies. He was one of the top prospects coming out of high school on the defensive side, and he is the #1 overall prospect. He had a stellar career as an Aggie, actually ranking 6th in school history with 32.5 sacks, just a half sacks behind fellow top 5 pick Von Miller, Defensive Player of the Year nominee for many years in the NFL for the Denver Broncos. Now for Myles Garrett, he is a better overall prospect entering this year's draft as a pass rusher than Von Miller. He actually piled up 48.5 tackles for loss to go along with the 32.5 sacks. He was a unanimous All-American and All-SEC honors throughout his career, even entering as a true freshman. Now it's time for me to talk about his strengths and weaknesses. First, his strength. This kid is a behemoth at 6'4", 272 pounds. He has freakish athleticism. He has good agile arms. He can use his arms very well. Plenty of moves in his arsenal to evade pass blockers to get to the quarterback. Great speed at 4.6, 440. He did run that at the scouting combine. He did have a great workout, and he does have tremendous power. He did bench press 225 pounds 33 times. This kid is amazing. Freakish player. He has many great athleticism, and I do like his play a lot. He does have some violent hands, and he does have a tenacious mentality to get to the quarterback, and he sometimes even help in run support. Now, he does have just a couple weaknesses, though. This past season, he did miss a couple of games, as well as played hurt in the second half of the season with a leg injury. He only had 8.5 sacks this past season compared to averaging around 12 for the first 2 seasons during his career, and that's because of the injury. But if you look at that as a strength as well, because he did play and tough it out, he did play while he was a little bit hurt. Now, another thing that some people are concerned about, particularly myself included, it shows a little bit too much confidence entering this year's draft, just like what we seen in Jadeveon Clowney out of South Carolina when the Houston Texans selected him first overall. Now, because of Jadeveon Clowney showing great promise, particularly this past season, I don't think teams are going to be too scared of Myles Garrett. He is a great player overall, a tremendous player. There's not too many weaknesses during his career at Texas A&M. Another weakness I did forget to mention is that sometimes, because he plays so many plays, there were times that he did take some plays off, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a concern entering the NFL. Now, another weakness that I did notice is sometimes he could be a little bit arrogant as far as his character. We've seen during this offseason he first started making a little bit minor humorous demands to the Dallas Cowboys, in which they should trade down to select him, and then started thinking about the Cleveland Browns not selecting him and first overall, try to have the Cleveland Browns trade off their pick. Now his latest news that I've been reading lately is that he's actually making threats towards Cleveland, and if they don't select him #1 overall, the quarterbacks are going to regret it by him knocking them out, which is not too much of a threat because it shows that he is trying to be #1 overall and doesn't mind being a Cleveland Brown. It really depends on how you look at it, but it kind of shows that he's kind of starting something, kind of being a little bit, not a diva, but a little bit of a character, in which could be an issue in the locker room. But we will see. This kid is just too far of a talent for the Cleveland Browns to mess this one up. They should select him #1 overall, and that's actually where I project him. Now, the next time to catch you guys will be in a couple minutes. I have many more blogs for today. Thank you for watching this vlog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.